when you get ideas, sometimes they won't work out. That's true. And sometimes they do. And it takes sometimes the courage to step out of your comfort zone and try it and see what happens. I am Gloria Grace Rand, founder of the L.O.V.E Method and author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, Live, Love, Engage: How to Stop Doubting Yourself and Start Being Yourself. In this podcast, we share practical advice from a spiritual perspective on how to live fully, love deeply, and engage authentically, so you can create a life and business with more impact, influence, and income. Welcome to Live, Love, Engage. Namaste. When was the last time you got an idea, but fear kept you from moving forward? It happens. We're human. But what I want to talk to you today is the willingness to take action, to step out of your comfort zone, to make a course correction and change gears. Okay, I'm mixing lots of metaphors here, but hey, what the heck? I can do that because I think it's important, and this is something that I've been going through recently. And in fact, today's episode, frankly, is a course correction because I was going to talk about something completely different, and it just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it this week. I've been struggling to come up with what I wanted to talk about. When what's been happening for me, especially yesterday, well, really this whole week, said to me, no, you need to talk about this instead. So we're going to talk about course corrections. We're going to talk about not being afraid to leap in and do something. So let me give you some context here. I have been trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. I've been evolving. Let's put it that way, I guess. So my audience for who I want to reach in my business has evolved certainly over the time that I've been in business since 2009, but especially over the last year or two, I would say. I started a women's group called the Soulful Women's Network, and that was a way for me to be able to connect with other women entrepreneurs and other professional women. And so I've enjoyed doing that. And in fact, we have a free Facebook group. If you want to join, I've got the link right below there, and I will put that in the show notes as well. Actually, you can go to bit.ly/soul network and you can find it. So that's part of it. And I've been enjoying that. And in fact, here's an example of this. So here's an example of course correcting. So I've had this group going for the last couple of years, and I think a lot of groups seem to be having this issue lately, especially ones that we would meet virtually twice a quarter, and then once a quarter, once in person in Melbourne, Florida, where I live. And it's been tough to. Let me say this. We've had the same people show up, who are amazing women who show up every month. And, once in a while we'll get a few extra. And then when we meet in person, we usually have a lot more. And I think it's because still in these years after COVID, we still want to be able to meet in person. And so we had our Zoom meeting last week. And I was asking the group, how we can grow this. I want to be able to grow it. And after I got done, we had some ideas of how to be able to make some improvements. And I was like, cool, I appreciate that. And then after we got done, I stayed on our Zoom with one of my good friends, and she said, Gloria, you seem sad. And I said, "Yeah, I know. Yeah, all of a sudden I started feeling sad, while we were talking." And that isn't the first time that's happened during one of our Zoom calls. She said, "Well, maybe that's telling you something." And I said, yeah, maybe we need to meet in person. Maybe we need to meet in person every month instead of doing Zoom." And so that started this process for me of taking a hard look at what I wanted the group to be. What was the purpose? Who did I want to bring into the group? Which has culminated now in the fact that yesterday I spent time coming up with a new name for the group and a new sort of premise for it. And so now it's still the Soulful Women's Network, but it's aimed at women over 50 who want to connect and grow and thrive. And now it's like I've suddenly been re-energized to do this group. And I yesterday I came up, I did our event, Facebook event description for and planning of what our topic was going to be for February. So I went ahead and already did that. So it's for a whole month away, but I went ahead and did it. And I just wrote, in the past, I've kind of used AI sometimes to help me, come up with some messaging a little bit, and then I would always tweak it. But this time it just flowed because I was on a roll and it just flowed. And that's the message I really wanted to tell you, is that when you get ideas, sometimes they won't work out. That's true. And sometimes they do. And it takes sometimes the courage to step out of your comfort zone and try it and see what happens. I've been experimenting over the last 2 years with this group, and we grew the Facebook group to a certain amount. Well, this morning I had someone from South Africa who requested to be in the group. So, it's like boom. And then actually one of the other members, she invited a bunch of people to the group yesterday because she's like, "Oh, I love the new focus of the group." So it shows that, yes, making this course correction, kind of re-examining things is fruitful, and it is going to result in what I want to do. And then yesterday I was also on a phone call with one of our members who doesn't live in Central Florida anymore. She moved out of the area, and I had to let her know that, yeah, we're not going to be meeting on Zoom anymore. And she understood. And then we got to talking. She's going through some challenges in her life right now. Her husband is unfortunately in hospice care, and she's looking at the future, when she's going to become a widow, and wondering what she's going to do now with this next chapter of her life. And she's someone like me who has a background in marketing. We've been doing online marketing for a long time, and that's how I started my business, doing SEO copywriting, and we're like, yeah, it's just not, it doesn't have quite that same pull. I still, don't get me wrong, if you need help copywriting, if you need, please feel free to reach out and, go to my website. You can go to 𝘠𝑠iglovia.com and, let's chat. It's a simple little conversation. If there's anything I can help you with. I still love the clients that I have when I do that work. And I've been pulled to do more, to do deeper work. And that's why I launched my Align to Shine Academy a couple months ago. And I'm going to be doing it again at the end of February, because I want to really help women to stop doubting themselves and start being themselves. And during this conversation with my friend and listening to her talk about what's going on with her, and we're kind of going back and forth, and she's talking about what I'm doing and everything. And it finally dawned on me that I know who I want to serve. And I know what I want to help them do. I want to help women over 50 love themselves, really, truly love themselves and love the life they're living. Because that's what I learned how to do. I learned how to love myself really deeply and completely through the L.O.V.E method. And when I did that, I was able to decide that as much as I love my husband, I couldn't live with him anymore. And so we're separated. We're still separated now. It's been coming up on 3 years. We get along better now, actually. So I'm loving the life I'm living now. I am independent. I am, in my own lovely space right now, recording this podcast, and I've got my kitty cats are with me. I do miss the dog. Like Lexi stayed with my hubby at the house. Although I don't miss, in a way, taking her for a walk because cats are easier. Let's face it. Just give them clean litter and they're happy campers. They don't have to go outside. So, and yeah, so I don't know where I got off on there, but anyway. So my point today is, and I'm not even gonna make this a terribly long episode. I just want to encourage you to. Actually, I do want to encourage you to do one thing. And before I go back to that, I'm going to take a little quick break, and I'm going to just invite you first. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you what else to do. So what I'm going to invite you to do is I send out daily messages of inspiration, daily messages of love and light, I call them, every day, and in your emails. And they're inspirational quotes. Some of them are quotes I find from other people. Some of them are quotes that have been downloaded to me that I am sharing. And so if you would like to wake up in the morning and get some inspiration, I encourage you to sign up for it. So you can go to bit.ly/love-light-notes, and each word of that has a capital letter. So capital L, love, capital L, light, L-I-G-H-T, and capital N, notes. I'll have it in the show notes as well. But I encourage you to do that, because I know I get inspiration from other sources as well, but I've had some really great feedback for some of the people who get it. So I hope you'll do that. Okay, now let me see. Let me get back to what I wanted to talk to you about. Yes, I remember now. Part of what I teach in the L.O.V.E method is the L.O.V.E is an acronym, and O stands for open your heart to receive. So what I want to encourage you to do in this talking about making course corrections is to be open to receive wisdom and guidance that may come from unexpected places. For me, it was being open to receive feedback from the people who are in my Soulful Women's network and who gave me some ideas of what they want to see happen. And then, and then being open to my friends, letting me know that, this isn't lighting you up anymore. What do you need to do? So being open to hearing things like that helped get my brain started and helped me to start, okay, sit with that a little bit. And that's what you also have to do too, is to be willing to then, take this in and then sit with it for a while and just let go, let go and let God as well, sort of provide you with some inspiration. Because I definitely have felt inspired over the last 48 hours or so, or even less than that, I think, maybe 36 hours possibly. And it felt so good, because now it's like, okay, I've got a new direction. I'm heading in a new direction. And whether this ultimately succeeds or not, I don't know yet, but I feel good about where I'm going. And sometimes, the journey is worthwhile, even if you don't reach your ultimate destination. Sometimes it's just fun being on that journey, and you can enjoy that. So, yeah, I think that's mostly what I want to share with you today. Like I said, this one's going to be a short and sweet one. But I didn't want to do what I was planning, so I made a course correction on my podcast plan today, and I hope you enjoy this. So I hope you receive some value from it. If you do, I would love to know that. You can always go to my website. You can contact me on LinkedIn. You can contact me. You can comment on this this YouTube video, because I do record it and post it on YouTube as well. So reach out to me and let me know what you think. And if you want to join our Soulful Women's Network, especially if you happen to be over 50, if you're and a woman, or you consider yourself a woman, this day and age, we have to clarify that, and that's perfectly fine with me. I am good with that. Again, you can find us on Facebook. Go search Soulful Women's Network. You'll find us on Facebook. And eventually I'm going to probably switch the direction. So I do have soulfulwomensnetwork.com. Right now I have that's linking to our registration for the next meeting, but I may switch that around. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I hope you will go out today and tomorrow and every day after and live fully, love deeply, and engage authentically.